Hare Baca hırmı? Amin baca bakata.
It's on there.
Just there.
I think it's 60 something.
Bhaja bhakata vatsalasi Gaurāṅga
62. 62. Jai Gaurāṅga.
Shri Gaurāṅga Sohe Ghosave Hare
Shri Gaurāṅga Sohe Ghosave Govinda
flat. Someone else. Sachi, did it?
We sing. I was, wow, Vishalaksha is a certain existence past, right?
Vishalaksha, yeah.
Vishalaksha.
Yes. Vishalaksha.
It's such a beautiful song, isn't it? Such a beautiful song.
I love it.
It's very, very sweet.
Very, very sweet.
So actually, let me, if I can do one actually.
Yeah, please.
One that Vishaka likes a lot. Vishaka always sings this song. So in honor of her, we can sing.
I think maybe we should move up a little bit.
Page 226.
Do you want to move up a little bit so everyone can fit? Otherwise, no one will sit in the middle. Yeah.
226. Page 226. He Deva Bhavantang Vande. He Deva Bhavantang Vande. He Deva Bhavantang Vande. He Deva Bhavantang Vande. Manmana Samadhukara Matpajani Japada Pankaja Makorande. Manasa Madhukara Matpajani Japada Pankaja Makorande. Om Manasa Madhukara Matpajani Japada Pankaja Makorande. Samadhukara Matpajani Japada Pankaja Makarande. Deva Bhavanto Vande. Deva Bhavanto Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavanto Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavanto Vande. Ārati samadhishu vidirapi pasyati nakava nakadamarishi. Ārati samadhishu vidirapi pasyati nakava nakadamarishi. Aidami chamine shamyavatava chuta tadapi kipavudadiche. Aidami chamine shamyavatava chuta tadapi kipavudadiche. Deva Bhavantang Vande. Deva Bhavantang Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantang Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantang Vande. Om Bhakti Yoga Institute ārati madhava natvayi mamati ramati. Bhakti Yoga Institute ārati madhava natvayi mamati ramati. Aparameshwara tatara pitavadika durgata gatana vedati. Aparameshwara tatara pitavadika durgata gatana vedati. Deva Bhavantang Vande. Deva Bhavantang Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantang Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantang Vande. Ayama Vilola Dayata Sanatana Kalita Dutta Rasabhara. Ayama Vilola Dayata Sanatana Kalita Dutta Rasabhara. Annivasat Nihyami Hamite Nindini Vindan Madhuri Masha
Jaya Gaurāṅga
You still have enough time to do one more?
What's the
What are you looking for?
Don't know what I'm looking for. Not too sure. What do you want to sing one? Another one?
I'm at your service.
Okay,
So if you want, you can sing, no problem.
In Giridhārījīu, they sing also many songs in the part, all these songs of Gopal.
yeah.
Speak on quickly. Because it's...
Well, why don't we do this one? Really, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah. See?
Okay. What page is that?
I was literally thinking, I was like, nah, better not.
Yeah. In Giridhārījīu.
Oh, it's 184. Yeah, 184 is 1. 184 is number 3.
You want to sing this one?
Can you sing?
I'm going to hold the Gopinath bit, so
Yeah.
it's going to sound a bit...
Theatrical.
Well, it's just how I've heard it, so I know it like that. Gopinath mama nivedana shuna, Gopinath mama nivedana shuna, Visoe darjana sada kamarata, Visoe darjana sada kamarata, Visoe darjana sada kamarata, Giridhārījīu
तुम्हारा शरण लइनो शरण तुम्हारा
धने भगति करम जन्मते
नजे भगति कर्म जन्मते
धने भगति करम जन्मते बोधिछि
नजे भगति कर्म जन्मते बोधिछि
हे मामा बोलो जनस निर्मल नहीं मामा बोलो जनस निर्मल सुदिन नहीं मामा बोलो जनस निर्मल सुदिन जाने तारीखे तुम्हारा शांति जाने तारीखे तुम्हारा शांति जाने तारीखे तुम्हारा शांति क्या के पापियो जाने तारीखे तुम्हारे शांति क्या के
This one?
Yeah. Kyana Timaranda Shakyanam Kina Salakaya Sakshur Militanyena Tasma Sri Guruve Namaha Namo Mavanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Kora Trise Namaha Vanchakalpatrupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha. Very warm welcome to everybody, and especially also to Ananda Krishna Prabhu, coming from the United States. And we always and we the wealth in our life is actually the association of the devotees. To associate with the devotees is our wealth, and is the wealth of the temple in the world of misconception and selfish interest. So actually there is in this Gita, Bhagavad Gita from Guru Srila Sridhar Maharaj, it is one of the Chatur Slokis, the 4 Chatur Slokis, and Chatur means intelligent, with sharp intellect, and not the intellect of this mundane world where you gather data and then you present it to the public. No, deep theistic intelligence that goes much deeper than what we see with the senses, what we experience in the intellect in this material plane. So that is the theme of this reading this afternoon. And I start with one of the Chatur Slokis, and that is chapter 10, verse 8. I am Krishna, the sweet Absolute. I am the root cause of the all-comprehensive aspect of the Absolute, the all-permeating aspect of the Absolute, and also the personal aspect of the Absolute. The master of all potencies, who commands the respect of everyone. Lord Narayan of Vaikuntha, the universe of mundane and divine flow, every attempt and movement, the Vedas and allied scriptures, which guide everyone's worship, all are initiated by me alone. Realizing this hidden treasure, the virtuous souls who are blessed with fine theistic intellect surpass the standard of duty and non-duty and embrace the paramount path, the top path, nothing is higher, the paramount path of love divine, Raga Marga, and adore me forever. That is Krishna saying in the Bhagavad Gita, and we have no scriptures in the Quran or in Christian belief where the Lord comes so bold forward, like, I am Krishna, you worship me, I am everything, just please come to me. Even he says, give up all religion and just worship me. I will take care of you. Have no fear. Because we hear also from Saraswati Thakur, ultimately all the religions have some self-interpretation, has some interpretation in it, where what is not full-fledged theism, what we hear from the Vedas, what we hear from the saints who have come with this paramount path of divine love. Then I will read something from our Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundir Govinda Maharaj. And that is in Revealed Scripture, Revealed Truth, under the alinea Religious Life. We must understand the difference between animal life and human life. Human life can be almost the same as animal life. Humans may live in an organized way in cities and buildings, and animals may live in the jungle. But both human and animals engage in eating, sleeping, fearing, and enjoying. These are the natural activities of life of all species. What is the special about human life? What makes human life more than animal life? It is not actual brain power or intellectual capacity, but dharma, religion. In human life, jiva souls can connect with their soul's natural religious mood and culture. If humans don't use their brains and consciousness to connect with their transcendental existence as jiva souls through dharma, then there is no difference between their human life and the life of a beast. Dharma has been explained in a very nice way by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He explained that if we search everywhere throughout all the planes of existence in the universe, we will find that everywhere there is some form of religion, some form of dharma. He used the example of water. What is the religion of water? Water's nature or religion is liquidity. Fire's religion is producing heat and light. A stone's religion is to be hard. In this way he gave many examples. Every object and being within the universe functions according to its dharma because of the presence of consciousness, the presence of a jiva soul within it. The jiva souls always exhibit their dharma nature, but they do so through their forms of embodiment. The jiva souls are sometimes covered by an animal form, sometimes by an insect form, and sometimes by a human form. All these forms are coverings, part of the illusory environment of Maya, which makes the jiva souls forget their spiritual dharma, their true nature as eternal servants of Krishna. Blossoming consciousness. Dharma means religion, but dharma itself means to hold. When jiva souls have a human form and their thinking, feeling and willing is manifest clearly to them, they must practice dharma consciously by holding their mind and mentality in a good position. What means holding your mind and your mentality in a good position? It means actually that we can understand what does the mental system actually do and for what is it? The mental system, same as the body, the subtle forms of our existence, like the body is a gross manifestation of our existence, of our illusion, and the mental system is also an illusionary manifestation of our inclinations, our habits. So the mind is always, as we know, coming with some story, with something, I like it or I don't like it. So the mind has to be, actually, Guru Maharaj says, has to be dissolved. All these like as grasshoppers coming up in the mind. Oh, I don't like it. What is he saying or what is she doing? This all has to be dissolved. So, because the mind is a form of misunderstanding and selfish interest. Is there some understanding? Yeah? So that whole, if we can, Gurudev says here, bring the mind in a good position. If we know the mind is coming from the ego, stop it. Put the holy name in the mind. Think good. If there's some negativity in the mind, we cut it out. We nip it in the bud. We don't go there. It's a practice. If something comes up, we don't go there. We don't let it go deeper and deeper. We know all that it goes like that. If we have some negativity in our mind, then and we think about it, then it goes deeper in our system, and then it becomes like it lives its own life, like a parasite almost. The negativity lives deeper in us, and then it takes longer to take it out. So if there's something coming in the mind, besides thinking all is good, everything is happening by the will of Krishna, I'm here to do good, even think good about people who are abusing me, or people who giving me a hard time. That is the practice of the mind. Because I one time read a self-help book, and the title was, "We cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought." So it makes such a havoc in our system to think something negative. So not to do that. We have the holy name, we have the practices, we have the service attitude, we have the books, we come to the temple like what you have done. So this is all to go on another track as being in the mundane world, full of misconception, full of selfish interest. We know that already. The supreme form of Dharma is Krishna Bhakti, and the practice of other Dharmas gradually develops into Krishna Bhakti. The practice of Dharma, which is what makes human life more than animal life, ultimately establishes the Jiva soul in their natural position as servitors of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. In the stage of Mukulita Chaitanya, the Jiva soul's consciousness can open itself to revelation from transcendental plane. When the consciousness of any Jiva soul is influenced by higher consciousness, then it gets sensible and clean knowledge. When revealed knowledge appears within the hearts of the Jiva souls, then they embrace their natural theistic life and ideal. This is when the Jiva souls begin to enter into their natural position and behave according to their true nature. This stage is called Vikashita Chaitanya, blossoming consciousness. So Gurudev explains here, first there is a bud, and then we come in contact with the devotees, with the sadhus, with the holy people, with the books, and Krishna is revealing himself in the books, in the talks of the sadhus, or in the talks of the devotees, and then that soul starts to awaken to more clear consciousness. Yeah, we can live in this world, mundane world, without being affected by it. All these things that are attracting us, or actually they distracting us, to have some discipline that say, okay, this I don't need anymore. Like, for example, we come to a conclusion, yeah, we don't need to eat meat anymore, if that is, coming on our path. Or we don't have to take intoxications, or we don't have to have all sorts of relationship with actually don't bring me progress in my life. So all these things are in the consciousness, to be conscious about every moment of our life. What is my mind saying? What is my I mean the mind, what is my impulse of how to accept something what is favorable to my life, and that comes to my life becomes like spiritual life, because the other life is a life full of illusion, full of suffering. We know that already. It's a concocted life in which we play some actor or actress that has a material a material
Motive.
and a material conception and a material manifestation. We are deeper. Inside of us there is the golden self, the self who is humble, who is tolerant, who gives honor to others, who doesn't want any honor for him or herself, who is grateful for what we have now. There's also a title what I wanted to read. It's like, love your life. Love your life what you have now. It is you yourself who is the architect of your life. But if you think everything is good, everything is coming from the Lord, and He is there, and He brings it on to me, whatever happens in my life, for my progress, for my learning, so that we can see what is presenting in my life. With gratefulness, I give that love and affection. I give that help. That is actually the nature of the Jiva soul, to serve, to be of good influence, to be of help, to be kind and nice. Revelation enters the heart of the Jiva soul by the grace of the Lord and an expert devotee of the Lord. Krishna consciousness exists within all Jiva souls, but it is suppressed by the illusory environment. So the mercy of the Lord, that is all what we need, because when we become to awake more, we see everything is the Lord. He is everywhere, and He is my guide, and He is my protector. He is the best friend of my life. He is the love in my life. That is the truth. That is a spiritual truth. And if we become more awakened and see all the frustration what we have gone through, all the suffering we have gone through many, many lifetimes, we come to that conclusion that we were driven by selfish interest. We were seeing with the eyes, what is in it for me? How can I enjoy what is coming in front of us? And after seeing that, how so much reaction comes through that, because it is a faulty consciousness. It is not that the Lord wants to punish us. Not at all. The Lord is a loving Lord, and He wants us back in His entourage, in His world, in this world, in other worlds. He wants us to be connected with Him, because without Him we are suffering like so much, because it's a falsity. It is an illusion, and it is only based on ego. So if we can see that through our life, what we are going through, that is that world, that is the material world. I do my duty, I do my what is requested for me, but my life, I want to go on another track. That's what I meant to say. Krishna, in our life, when we suffer, it's not that He's punishing us. It is telling us, you go on another track. You go on another. There's another track, which is the path, the journey of happiness, real happiness and fulfillment. Without that you need anything what is very flimsy or very illusionary or temporary in the material world. We want something real, something what stays, something what is what we cultivate in our soul, because the soul, that is who we really are. The rest will go. It's like a garment. At the end of this life, we will take it off. But the soul, what we have gathered in, taste for a spiritual life, gathered in our service life, our attachment to serving the Lord, in our attachment to hearing from the sadhus and from the devotees about Mahaprabhu's and Krishna's pastimes, that will start to live in our soul. When we then sing the songs, we get something is activating in the soul that we think, yeah, this is reality. This is what I like to think about. That is what the mind is for. To think about Krishna's pastimes, to think about Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and to cultivate love for that, instead of, and of course, relaxation, chilling in our life, we do that, and that is no problem. We need that also, but not too much and not all the time. Have some discipline. Bhakti yoga means also discipline. Thinking, what shall I do? What is good? What is helping me in my spiritual life? Even though the mind or the body thinks, no, not now. You do it. I've learned in my life all the things that I found difficult or what I didn't want to do. At a certain point I thought, I do it. Then I get over that, again, the mind who's telling me, no, not now, I'm tired, or I'm not feeling so good, or I'm depressed, or I had it with everything and everyone. No, then you go over a threshold, what is the mind telling you, and going in the area of the soul. I'm here to do good. I'm here to help others. I'm here to make somebody else happy. Like, give a smile or give a helping hand, or especially there where you don't want to go. You do that, and then you see that's all a trick of the mind. In my mind, I was thinking all these things. No, I want to do where is my deeper self, my golden self. I'm a servant. I'm a servant of the Vaishnavas, of the Guru, of my beloved Lord. Okay. The play of the sweet absolute. In this way, the jiva souls animate the material energy and exist at different stages of spiritual evolution. We understand that it's only because of the soul that the whole material world is animated, that our body is animated. It's only because of the soul inside us. So the soul is the essence, and the soul coming from Krishna. We read also in that Chatur Sloki, Krishna is in every thought and in every movement in the beginning. What we do with it, that's another question. Then we can make dharma or we can make karma. That's up to us. But he is everywhere. There's nowhere without Krishna. If we can repeatedly be convinced of that, then Krishna comes stronger in our life. And then automatically we know he's looking at us, he's in us, he's in everybody else, and every other thing also. Then that spiritual life, that bhakti yoga, that Krishna consciousness becomes a reality, because we give it food, we give it sustenance. But we have to open that soul. We have to make it awake more and more until it starts to bloom and until there is no other reality than that. There was a question that they asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj. No, Srila Sridhar Maharaj asked actually in the assembly of devotees sitting at his lotus feet. And he asked the devotees, what is Krishna consciousness? And the devotees came with several answers. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Krishna consciousness is reality. It's the only reality. It's the eternal reality. It's the reality what we all want, because we want happiness and we're looking for happiness in this world. It's not. We're looking for in the other person has to make us happy. The environment has to make us happy. We have houses and gardens and cars and then the children, they have to have good education. That will make us happy. That's for sure. That's natural. But it is not the ultimate. And when we start to identify with that, like when we start to identify with my partner or with the children or with the car and the wonderful house and all the people who are around us, that is a falsity, that is a falsehood, because we will do all these things. Why we would live in the material world and show so many things that we have? That's only a show-off to other people, because that is an egoistic concept, to show other people what a cool person we are. That's only for that. Because we all know if we have that material thing, at a certain point it loses its glamour, or it loses the happiness that it gives to us. But not Krishna consciousness, not our relationship with the Lord, not our giving nature, our nature what is connected with the soul and with the heart. An open mind, an open heart. There is where we go. That is a revolutionary concept. That is what everybody, although they don't know, looking for. But our ego is so great, so big, that we don't want to accept God in our life. We all know that is in the world like that. They don't want to bow down for somebody, because rather they want to see that they are God and that everybody is looking up to them and thinking, wow, that is a cool... Hare Krishna. Dana. That is a very interesting guy, or she is so beautiful, or so much intelligence but that is all in the material concept, which is nobody is going to be happy in the long run. Then I want to read something from In the Light of Loving Devotion. That is also by talks from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and the chapter is 6, Restoring Spiritual Health. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, hunger of the spirit. In the case of the conditioned soul, Bada Jiva, the mind, the intelligent, and the other subtle material tendencies are looting the property of devotion. Looting, they're stealing. So all the intelligence, the mind, and all the whole mental system is stealing the property of the soul. And the soul is connected with devotion. So devotion is not getting its due. It is starved of its food, its nourishment, and remains always in the minor position. With the help of the revealed scriptures and the saints, we are to improve our condition. Where there is a will, there is a way. We have that tendency for devotion. We have a liking for that life, that property of devotion. It is innate in us, deep inside of us. And with their help, we can feel it more and more. So with the help of the sadhus who come, with the help of Gurudev, with the help of the Shastras, we will feel it more and more, because that is a reality. What we just said, Gurudev said, what is Krishna consciousness? It is the only reality. The material life or the material world, what we see with our senses, that is not a reality. That is a temporary manifestation of Krishna, no doubt, but it is karma related because of our karma, because of our ego, of us not wanting God in our life, the Lord God, Krishna. So He's so kind, He gave that all to us, to go on a track where He is waiting. He is waiting for the lost servants. The Lord is waiting for us. But some effort from our side. It is subtle. We cannot see Krishna. We cannot conceive of Him so directly. But in our practice, He will come. He will show His mercy. He will. If the infinite would not be infinite, that would be if He cannot make Himself known to the finite, to the small particle of Him. That is the Jiva soul. We all are like that. And with their help, we can feel it more and more. Ruchi, taste, is the first thing necessary to have lolium, hankering, and lobha, greed, for that kind of life. First we must sincerely want it, then the way will be shown to us, and we will get it. Actually, we have to suffer enough in the spiritual life, lifetimes after lifetimes, until we say, okay, my Lord, I don't want to make mistakes anymore. I don't want to give unhappiness to other people anymore. I want to be good. I want to be your servant. Please let me know how I can approach you. If we are at that point, sometimes we call that the dead night of the soul. No, what is it? Yeah, the dark night. The dark night of a soul. And sometimes we have experienced that, like so many things perplexing in this material world, so many people perplexing to us, or where we thought, yeah, there is our happiness. Perplexing, it's like quicksand. It is there and then it disappears. So we all have experienced that. But it's not so easy to say, okay, now I'm ready. But there comes a time in all the Jiva soul's life, they say, my Lord, I'm ready. I've suffered enough. Now, you please tell me, what must I do? And then the devotees come, they come with a book, or somebody invites you to the temple, or like that. Because the Lord is in every thought and in every breath of everybody. Not a blade of grass moves in this direction or that direction without the control of the Lord. Everywhere He is. But He is full of goodness. But we were talking about freedom, free will. Because without free will, we can choose what is good or not good, spiritual or material. We can choose because He wants us to come out of free will, and has to be love in it. Without love, it's not good. He's the Lord of love. They say if you go through so many stages of searching for God, and when you come to God, the Lord, and you want to give your love, then that is Krishna. That is the ultimate, the paramount truth of everything. Because without love, everything is stale. There must be love. There must be heart in it. nothing else counts. Everything what we do it with love. Then we will love our life, because we do it for the Lord. We do it for making a good precedent in the environment. And we will feel that. Our hunger must be increased. At present, we are diseased. Diseased means there is no hunger. We must behave in such a way that our spiritual hunger will be increased, and that is with the help of the healthy person, the sadhus. Our spiritual food should be well adjusted. Proper adjustment with nature, proper food, proper dealings will help to recover our lost health. On the whole, we have to move in such a way, and we will feel within ourselves whether our health is being restored or not. Our heart will tell us whether our health is improving or is decaying. Favorable service. We must be always awake about our internal interest, how to help it. And that interest, that nature, is one of sacrifice, of dedication. So if we hear the word sacrifice, or that, say, let's leave it there, sacrifice, we become a little bit uneasy. But in the spiritual conception, in the sacrifice, there is already the wealth. There is already the wealth of having a loving relationship with the Lord. Sacrifice, love means sacrifice. It is like actually it's the source of happiness, but you have to. It is not a material concept. It is a giving up of that material concept. You imply the sacrifice. And you feel it right away in the heart. The heart is the tasting machine. There is our wealth. But not only sacrifice, like what we do in material life also, but sacrifice with the connection of the Lord. That is the clue. So we sacrifice in life for our children, for our family, but it has to be offered to the Lord. That link has to be made. That is the essential point. Because there is nothing without the Lord. It's like something like you get something. It's like a dead matter. It's something. There is in that matter, there is a spirit, and that you only think about the covering. But that will not do. Another great hindrance is slothfulness or idleness, ease-loving. This is an enemy. Instead, we should try to live in a plane of energy, of energizing. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned that we should be careful about slackness and a lack of earnestness. They are anti-bhakti, and we should not fall prey to them. Srila Rupa Goswami says that in the highest stage of devotion also, we will not like to be connected with the Lord in an indirect way. It is pratikulia, unfavorable. Our service must be rendered in a favorable way. So clear, like not hazy, and that it is, you do it, and then later you think about the Lord. No, clear, from the start. You think about your position as a jiva soul, as a position of a lover of God, because that is our position, to love actually what the Lord has given us. Maybe in a humble way, but we have gotten so much from the Lord, and that is the beginning of being grateful. Every day we can start with that consciousness. The Lord has been so kind to us. The Lord has given me so much, and now I want to show my appreciation. Srila Rupa Goswami says that in the higher stage of devotion also we will not like to be connected with the Lord in an indirect way. It is pratikulya, unfavorable. Our service must be rendered in a favorable way. By any connection with the Lord, we can get out of this conditioned world. But that connection should be favorable. Anikulyasya sankapa. Many demons had dealings with the Lord through kamat, krodhat, vyayat, dveshat, lust, anger, fear, dread. They were also connected with Krishna Lila, but they were in an opposition party, patikulam, and that is never desirable by the Suddha Bhakta, the pure devotee. The devotees don't want to be included amongst the enemies in Krishna Lila, though that is also in an indirect way connected with the Lord. Kamsha connected with him through bhaya dveshat, fear and dread. He was also expecting Krishna to kill him, and Shishupal, through jealousy, wanted to marry Rukmini. Similarly, so many demons like Baka and Putana had relationship with the Lord, but that is pratikulam, unfavorable. The devotees do not like to be aligned with them. Rather, we shall aspire to anikulyasya sankapa, a favorable service line for Krishna Anusilam, our cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Something else? This is also from Srila Guru Maharaj, from the Golden Staircase. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. On the battlefield, when two tanks come to fight, the men within the tanks may think, the tanks are moving like two demons, pushing one another. The tanks are crashing together, but the man is within. Similarly, the soul within this body has its own body, its own plane of living, its own food, everything of its own in the spiritual realm. And this world is the perverted reflection of that realm. So that's a good example. It's like two tanks, there's men in it, they're crashing into each other, but the men are still there because there's are tanks. That's like the soul. We are connected in the material world, but the soul inside us doesn't need the material world. The soul inside doesn't need anything of, say, our, all the things that we're doing, all the things that... The soul is pure in its essence, is pure spiritual. And with that consciousness, we, in the soul, we see God everywhere. We see the Lord everywhere. And we want to, because we don't want to be idle, to think, just everything is not spiritual. I am spiritual. I think this whole manifestation is all wrong. It's all like an illusion. I just meditate on that I'm spiritual. Zero. This whole manifestation of all that is coming to a zero. That can never happen. That all this, what is also mysterious in its way, it's also very beautiful in its way, but that it is for us to engage in service and offer it to the Lord. And a soul, as we are, we want to do things. We want to think something, not material, but we want to think about the pastimes of the Lord, about love, about beauty. We want to think that those spiritual things. And we want to also do something. Like in the spiritual world, there's dancing and singing and making jokes with Krishna. And Krishna is very tricky and cheeky, but it's all good. And sometimes he also is a thief. He steals things. But it's all so much fun and so much happiness there. That is where we want to go. We don't want to go into some Om and so nothingness and then merging into the Brahma Jyoti. That is, and then staying there for so long, and because it's a falsehood, it is not a reality. We are not that. We are servants of Krishna, not to think everything is just coming to zero and that is the highest conception. Not that. Then after some years, millions of years staying in the Brahma Jyoti, then we have to go down again in a material world to again practice of service to Krishna. We want to do something. But there, in that practice, it's also joyful. We know when we serve, when we do service, when we chant, when we see the Lord, when we hear about the Lord, it is joyful. It is wonderful. So that is what we want to do, and that is the nature of the soul. We must purely aspire after life in that spiritual realm, and purely depends on love. And love means sacrifice. Die to live. That is a famous quote from the German philosopher Hegel, that Guru Maharaj quotes often. Die to live. We have to die all the nasty things in us. They have to go. We can think about it and then we be aware. Attentive attention, Srila Govinda Maharaj says, attentive attention of what do we think, what do I speak, what do I do, and to make that all in a spiritual, with a spiritual vibration, with a spiritual intention, because there is beauty there is love there, and we want that in our life. We want to be alive with love and beauty and spiritual knowledge and people who think like that also. Die to live. We have to die wholesale in regard to our interest in life here. And then another sort of interest will awaken within us, and we shall live there in that place. That is our aspiration. And for that we have left all our concrete things, our house, our property, our friends, our father, mother, children, and other relatives. So many things we have left, and we have gone out in the quest of other things. Of course, when we have a family, when we have father and mother, children, it's not that we will leave them. It is like we put the Lord in the center of all these things. It's not that everything else is then in the center, what in a material life it is. We put the Lord in the center, and we give our love to our family and our surroundings, our environment, but we do it for the Lord. Then everything becomes beautiful. We have no more charm for mundane possessions. We are seeking something which is supra-mundane. Mundane means under the jurisdiction of mortality. At every second it is dying. Everything on which we depend for the maintenance of this body is dying at every second. Everything. So we want to be out of this dying land. And if it is possible, we want to live in a land where there is no death. That is Amrita. That which is without death. And that is sweet. It is Vaikuntha. It is Goloka. Vaikuntha means in the consideration of the infinite perspective, that conception. Kunta means limitation, and Vaikuntha means unlimited. To live in Vaikuntha means to live in the relativity of the infinite whole. So I stop there for today. Are there any comments? Vera, Nitai? Ananda, Krishna, something?
You just need to live in Vaikuntha, you said.
Vaikuntha Vai means limit, and Kunta means without limits. To live in that plane, also here, in the consciousness of immortality, in the consciousness of the soul. The soul is immortal. We have a soul inside of us. Think of the tanks, and they're crashing into each other, but the man inside, into the two tanks, Srila Guru Maharaj compared, that is the soul, it's deeper. It's deeper in us. And the soul is very nice, very beautiful, very kind, very helpful, doesn't think egoistic, it's not an arrogant, it's humble, sees the Lord everywhere. That is the unlimited plane of seeing the Lord everywhere. Then it becomes like alive. It is dynamic. Our life becomes dynamic. Like material life can be very dull. It's very egoistic. It's like, look at me, how great I am. Devotee would not think like that. The devotee is dependent on the Lord, and whatever comes, very wonderful. But it's not dwelling so much on the goodness what comes in a devotee life, no doubt. But he's not think that is a disturbance actually for his service. He doesn't want to think so much about himself and what goodness has come. He feels, no doubt, but he knows will also come difficult times, and he wants to go on and feeling to be in that sort of life, in that unlimited prospect. That's an interesting life. That's a life full of life, full of. It's very wide, open. An ego-based, a materialistic life, very small. Makes it all very small, egoistic. It's not very dynamic.
I was thinking when you were speaking about service and connection, and you were explaining the correct attitude to cultivate, I was thinking of the word prerequisition. It's actually required to get to that point of wishing to do the service and finding that platform in order to establish the connection.
In order to?
Establish the connection with Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we all will go there. It's just an innate, natural position of the soul because we are soul in us. Everybody will come there. And then, again, it will fill up with other souls. Eventually, we will realize who we really are. Who am I? I'm soul. I'm not here to suffer. That's not my or troubleshooting all the time. Having have to solve problems. We are not there. We are here to realize we are soul, and the Lord is all the time with us, and give that acknowledgement. Feeling also He's looking He's your best friend. And in that way, you ride the wave. You swim the swim, so to say. Okay. Any other comments? Any other? Is that, Didi, what you... Yeah. So, I always like that comment. Everybody is actually doing service. Also in the material world. They have to go through all these enjoyments, being disappointed, being perplexed, going through that, trying to find happiness in all the material propositions, until realizing, no, I'm consciousness. I'm consciousness. And I'm not the Lord. I'm the servant of the Lord. I'm small. I'm very small and fallen and materialistic. But with His mercy, I will get everything. I will be eternally very fulfilled and will have the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, how to do at every moment. And that will, we go through life and then we have some realization at this point, and then there comes another level. We progressing more and more every time. One layer of illusion will be taken away, and then we come to another platform, another level of realization. It's a very dynamic, very wonderful, most adventurous, the best, the paramount path. Does not exist anything better. It's not be compared with all the fame, all the money, all the popularity, all the, you say it, what is in the material? Nothing is compared with one drop of that nectar, one drop of that realization. The Lord is my friend. He's my best friend. He's everywhere, and He's also in my heart and everybody's heart. And I want to awaken to that. I want to give consciousness to that. Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakak Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Jai Srila Gurudev.
No, I'm on my way. I'm gonna catch up.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Bhaja Shri
Because I can hear you like when you talk, but nothing was coming from me. Yeah, me too. It's like that.
I can tell it's on.
I couldn't hear it was hands.
So many people, they don't know what you're saying. Just tell them. You know you got the stand there as well. You got the stand.
Yeah.
It's here.
Roland's got this mixer, which automatically adjusts the volume.
Alright.
You don't have to choose
It's not fun.
Oh, you have a mixer? Or you want to use another one?
Roland got a new one.
Now we're going to play 20 in there. One each.
You just keep trying stuff, you know,
I
like
couldn't stop
the
it.
mixer, 12 line mixer, and we need artificial intelligence one, the next
Now
one,
we need the studio.
then the studio, then another one.
Sometimes you just do it on and then you can come again.
Yes.